children. Today we are going to discuss 9th class from the Civics chapter or Polity. Chapter 5th, that is your Political Science, Working of Institution. So what do you mean by working of institution? So for running any country, because you know very well, different form of governments are there. One form like monarchy, where you have king and people are believing king and people are saying king is God and all these things. Okay. And another is called anarchy, no rule, and mobicracy, where this law is coming under the control of this group of people. And dictatorship, some dictator like Hitler. You know very well about the Hitler. Hitler, after this Weimar Republic, he using Article 48 and declared himself as this dictator. Okay, so many forms of governments are there, and those all the forms are like totalitarian or power with some group of people. But one democracy, in my opinion, democracy is not the best form of the government, but it is an accountable form of the government. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about the working of the institution. So here we are going to discuss about the country, our country India, and how these institutions are working. So in your book, in your NCERT book, it is mentioned about this major policy decision. So any government making any rules, regulation, how this rule and regulation coming and how these are gazetted, notification coming, and who is formulating this law, rule. So in your book, one incident given about the office memorandum issued by the government of India. From there, your chapter started. So what is major policy decision and who are taking this decision? And we discussed many times about here. We discussed many times about this. We are discussed like that. People, we the people of India. So in Constitution, our preamble first starting with we the people of India. So we are directly not participating in the making the law, because 140 crore populations are there, everybody sit and think about making the law, means that chaos will be there. So we are giving our power to our representative. For MPs, MLAs, we are electing our representative. And those representatives are taking decision on behalf of us. So here our representatives are taking decision on behalf of us. So here who are taking the policy decisions, now we are going to start from So Government of India appointed a commission in 1979 headed by the BP Mandal called Second Backward Commission. So one BP Mandal Commission. So Government of India appointed a BP Mandal Commission and name of that commission is Second Backward Commission. So you have to remember that government appointed the commission in the year 1979, and that is the Second Backward Commission headed by whom? The Second Backward Commission headed by BP Mandal, and commission gave a report in 1980. So after 1 year, commission gave a report, and that is one of the suggestion was to reserve the 27% of government jobs for socially and economically backward class. So you know very well, when our constitution formulated and our Dr. B.R. Ambedkar, he told that it is not, because many peoples are there, like scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, Adivasi, Dalit, all these peoples are there who are not getting equal opportunity. So that time he thought that we have to give some chance. So many times a question asked by many students that why sir, this is also in a secular country, all are equal, justice and equality, liberty, everything we are discussing. But how our government given this, our constitution written like that, given reservation for the scheduled caste and scheduled tribe. And I have one small example for this. Because when students are sitting in class, if in class all are equal, so in class all are equal. If students are not sit in class according to their height, then what problem? Because those students who are very high students, the tall students, they will sit front, and shorter students sit backside. Then is it possible for them to look towards the blackboard or whiteboard? Anything. So for that reason, to make equal opportunity, because scheduled caste, scheduled tribe, that kind of situation is like that, they are coming under untouchability group. So for that reason, they have given some reservation to make some opportunity. So here this is called your second backward commission. So commission gave a report in the year 1980, and so here you have Janata Dal, this parliament discussed this for many years. So after this commission given that report, particularly we need 27% government jobs with reservation made for in 27% reservation for this social economically backward class group people to here in government jobs and in educational institutions. So because you know, in our country, in a democratic country, both ruling party and opposition play a vital role. Because any law, new law or amendment in the constitution, we have to discuss in our parliament, because this is democracy, and opposition play a vital role. And when a car without brake, then it is a problem, because car is definitely going to or make an accident. And when we are working in this road, then also so parliament discussed this for many years. Then Janata Dal election, win the election in the year 1989. In the year 1989, VP Singh, the Prime Minister, decided to implement this reservation. So VP Singh government decided to implement this reservation. Okay, VP Singh government decided to implement this reservation. Then the President announced in this address to the Parliament. When President addressed to the Parliament, then he announced, we are going to introduce this reservation system, that is 27% reservation for this SCBC group. Okay. Then the President announced this in the address in the Parliament, and on 6th August 1990, the Cabinet decided, okay, on the 6th August 1990, the Cabinet decided to implement, and Prime Minister announced it in the both house of the Parliament. Both house means, you know, we have lower house and upper house. Okay, the senior officer drafted an order signed by the officer, and it became the memorandum issued on the 13th August 1990. So one of the senior officer signed from the executive, he signed this order, and that is issued on 13th August 1990. Then there was a heated debate on this issue, and it was finally taken to the Supreme Court. So what happened? Because any new bill or any amendment or new law, it is must be decided in our Parliament. And there is a heated debate between this ruling party and the opposition party. Not only that, some small political parties, they argued, questioned, and brainstorming started there. Then finally taken the Supreme Court. The case was known as Indira Swahai and other Workers Union of India. So Indira Swahai, and he filed a case against this law or this reservation. So then Supreme Court decided in the 1992. Supreme Court declared that Mandal order as valid, but asked for some modification. Supreme Court told that some modification required, like according to the economic, social economical backward classes are there, but this reservation must be according to creamy layer and non-creamy layer. So this is all about this one example given in your book to discuss how this letters issuing and how this discussion going on and what the role of this institution. Here we discuss about the president, we discuss about the Supreme Court, we discuss about the parliament, and all this are how they play a vital role for a country. So in this chapter we are going to discuss about our working of the institution. So need for a political institution. Now we are going to discuss about the political institution. So a government has to perform various duties, formulate policy and implement them. So what is the role of government? Government play a vital role. That is, government has to perform various duties and formulate the policies and implement them. So they are formulating the policies for our country, our foreign policy, domestic policy, defense policy. All policies are formulated by the government. Not only that, government also playing a vital role to implement them. Then some have to formulate schemes, some have to take decision, some have to implement the decision. So some group of people are there who are formulating and who are taking decisions, and some group of people there, they are implementing the decision. So hence the need of institution to do all the above. So who are doing all this work? The institutions are doing all this work. So the constitution of a country lays down basic rule on power and function of each institution. So the constitution of a country lays down basic rules on power and function of each institution. So our constitution says that what is the power of institution, what is the power of Supreme Court, what is the power of Parliament, what is the power of our Chief Election Commissioner, what is the power of CAG, Comptroller Audit General, so Auditor General. So all this, what is the power fixed by our constitution. So these institutions are the legislative means parliament, they are making the law, and inside the parliament we have three things are there. Inside the parliament, president also coming under the parliament. So we have lower house and upper house. Lower house also known as your Lok Sabha and upper house known as your Rajya Sabha. And president also coming under this parliament. These things you have to remember. So the executive means governing body or government, and the judiciary. And judiciary also play a vital role in a democracy. And in a democracy, legislative, executive and judiciary. And another pillar is there, these three pillars are there. Another pillar is there, that is your media or journalism. Because who is going to handle this, all the people? Who is going to give the information to the people? So news, because we are dependent on the news. Because what we are seeing, that only going to be, we are thinking, okay, what government doing and all this. For example, in your home, any worker there or maid there or anybody working in your home or your servant. So when you are sending them for the market to buy something, you are paying 1,000 rupees and told to buy some groceries item and all this. After he return, you are asking the question, how you used this money and where you use and what is the cost of this product and that product. So like that, dear friends, here we are giving the money, we are the taxpayer are paying the money to the government, and this taxpayer money we have to know that where they use this money in budget session and all these things. So in a public we must and who is doing this work? This is your media. So media also play a vital role in a democracy. So now we are going to discuss one by one institution. So first we are going to discuss about the parliament. Okay. So parliament, it is needed final authority to make law in the country. So who is making the law? Here our parliament making the law. So it is also legislature. In state level it is called MLS, member of legislative assembly, or that assembly is known as legislative assembly. So why? They are the making the law. They are the legislature, they are making the law. Second, to exercise control over the working of the government. So they are exercising their power and they are making this government to work. They are informing this executive people to work. Then to control the expenditure of the government and control public money. I already given the example. So if we are given the money, they are managing that proper manner, because at last this is the public money, people's money. So how they are used, this is our right. We have to know that how they use. For that reason, in budget session they are explaining all these things. Then at the highest forum of the discussion, and debate decides public issues and national policy. So this is called your democracy. This is the temple of democracy. So where they are discussing about the public issues, about the issues of the people, issue about the country, and there is a heated debate between this ruling party and opposition party, and what is right, they are taking the decision according to what is the benefit for our country, what rule we have to prepare, and what schemes we have to bring for the people, for their betterment and for the public. Then two houses of the parliament. In parliament we have two houses. One is called your Lok Sabha, another is called your Rajya Sabha. And the former house, that is Lok Sabha, there is elected representative and it is the house of people. Because Lok Sabha is called your house of people, because that in Lok Sabha MP, member of parliament, whom you are directly electing. But in Rajya Sabha, elected by the elected member of each state assembly. So for that this is also known as council of the state, because in Rajya Sabha the members are elected by the MLAs of the different states. Around 4,000 MLAs are there, they are electing. So every state some quota is there from that seat fixed. So from there they are those people, MLAs are electing these people from this for the Rajya Sabha. But which MPs, that 543 MPs are there, they are elected by the people directly. And this the Rajya Sabha elected by the elected member of each state assembly is called Council of State. Then Lok Sabha is more important in money matter. So in money matter, Lok Sabha is more important. Why this Lok Sabha is more important? Because we already discussed Lok Sabha, it is the house of people. So people's money. So for that reason, Lok Sabha is more powerful or more important in money matter, control over the executive. So Lok Sabha have the control over the executive also, and has more members, because you know that here we have more members, that is 543. Total 545 members are there. 2 members are nominated by the President of India and 543 members are elected by the people. And when compared to this Rajya Sabha, this is around 245 seats are there and 233 elected by this MLAs and 12 are nominated by this President of India. So Rajya Sabha is more important in matter of this, dealing with the matter of the and concerning to the state. So when it is coming to the state matter, then Rajya Sabha is more important, because this is called your Council of States. So when it is coming to this state, then it is, because we already know that our country, here we have a federal structure. Federal structure means one national level we have a government, then state level is there, and some local level is. But some political people, they told that Indian constitution or Indian system it is called quasi-federal. Okay. So Rajya Sabha is more important matter concerning the state. So Lok Sabha is elected for a period of 5 years. So Lok Sabha is elected for a period of 5 years, and the Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. You have to know that Rajya Sabha is a permanent house with 1/3 of the member retiring every 2 years. So in Lok Sabha the people are electing for the 5 years. So then this is called your general election. After 5 years any election pending election is conduct the election, and we have three types of elections are there. One is called general election, one is called your midterm election, another is called your by-election. So we have to know what is general election. So if the term of the Lok Sabha completed, means term of the Lok Sabha completed, 5 years they completed that, again they are going for this election, because it is not monarchy system, okay, after that, or continue this, because every 5 years we have to choose our government, and every 5 years there is a choice for the people. So this is the democracy. In fixed tenure, a election must be there. So then after 5 years or completion of the term of the Lok Sabha, if election is there, that is called a general election. But when, due to some circumstances, this government not run, if they are not full majority of any single party is not majority, they took help from some small party, that is called coalition government. And this coalition government, if they are not agree with their points and all these things, they withdraw them. Then what happened? In between or before completion of this period, then election again, if we conduct the election, then that is called your mid-term election. And what is by-election? By-election means when any of member died or resigned, in that post any election conducted, that is called your by-election. So for that reason, Lok Sabha is elected for the period of 5 years. After 5 years, the tenure is completed. Then again re-election will be conducted all over the India. And the Rajya Sabha is a permanent house with 1/3 member returning every 2 years. So Rajya Sabha never dissolved. So Rajya Sabha is a permanent house. These things you have to remember. And it is never dissolved, but 1/3 member returning from that place every 2 years, and the term of each member is fixed for 6 years. In Lok Sabha, it is fixed for the 5 years, but in the Rajya Sabha, it is fixed for the 6 years. Okay. So, thank you students. Again, we are going to discuss part 2.